Hey Switch fans! Welcome back to SwitchTop. Today we're diving into the world of action RPGs. Games that mix exciting real-time combat with character progression and awesome stories. The Switch has some amazing options in this genre, and I'm counting down the absolute 25 best you can play right now. These games let you fight enemies directly instead of taking turns, while still giving you that RPG goodness of leveling up and finding cool gear. Let's jump right in! Ninth Dawn 3 might not look impressive at first with its simple 2D graphics, but don't let that fool you. This is one of the deepest action RPGs on Switch. You explore a massive open world filled with dungeons, monsters, and secrets from a top-down view. The combat feels like old-school Zelda, but with way more RPG elements. You can use swords, bows, or powerful magic spells in real-time battles. What makes this game special is how much freedom you have. You can catch and train monsters, over 270 of them. Fish, cook, craft items, solve puzzles, and even play a full card game called Few within the main game. The story follows your character investigating a curse that's affecting the kingdom of Sedaltry, but the real joy comes from exploring at your own pace without hand-holding. With 9 character classes to choose from and tons of skills to learn, Ninth Dawn 3 offers amazing bang for your buck with easily 60+ hours of gameplay that feels like a love letter to classic RPGs. Fire Emblem Warriors. Three Hopes takes the characters from Fire Emblem, Three Houses, and drops them into fast-paced action gameplay, where you cut through hundreds of enemies with flashy moves. The story is an alternate version of Three Houses, where you play as a mercenary named Shez instead of Byleth, choosing to join one of 3 houses at the Officers Academy. What makes this game special is how it blends the Warriors-style combat, where you feel super powerful taking down whole armies, with Fire Emblem's strategy elements. During battles, you control one character directly with fast attacks, strong attacks, and special moves, but can also give orders to other characters on a map and switch between them. Between fights, you'll hang out at your camp, build relationships with your allies through conversations, train troops, and upgrade your weapons.
Why am I so scant? It's just one month.
Run! Run while you can!
Cat Quest 3 is the perfect blend of accessibility and depth, featuring adorable cats and dogs in a pirate-themed adventure. Your character is searching for the legendary purloin pieces that will supposedly grant ultimate power. The gameplay happens from a top-down view where you explore a colorful world map filled with islands, sailing between them on your very own ship. Combat is simple but satisfying. You attack with weapons in real time, dodge roll away from danger zones, shown as red areas on the ground, and cast spells like fireballs or healing magic. The genius of Cat Quest is how it streamlines the action RPG experience. Dungeons take minutes instead of hours. Equipment is straightforward but meaningful, and the whole experience is filled with cat and dog puns that will make you smile. New to this third game is ship combat, where you fire cannons at enemy vessels and board them for treasure. Tales of Iron tells the grim tale of Reggie, a rat prince who must reclaim his kingdom from cruel frogs who have invaded his lands. Don't let the cute animal characters fool you. This is a challenging, dark fantasy action RPG presented in a beautiful 2D hand-drawn style. The combat system is what makes this game stand out. It's precise and demanding, where you need to watch enemy attack indicators to know when to block, parry, or dodge out of the way. Every swing of your weapon feels weighty and important, similar to games like Dark Souls but in 2D. As you progress, you'll find different weapons like swords, axes, and spears, each with unique attack patterns and strengths against specific enemy types. The RPG elements come in through gear upgrades, cooking meals for stat boosts, and customizing your loadout for different challenges. Ys origin takes us back 700 years before the rest of the famous Ys series, telling the story of how the goddesses that protect the world mysteriously disappeared into a giant tower. You choose between 3 playable characters: Unica, who fights with an axe, Hugo, who uses magic from a distance, or a 3rd secret character, each with their own storyline and perspective on events. The gameplay is pure action goodness from a top-down view, with fast-paced real-time combat that's easy to learn but has plenty of depth. Each character plays completely differently. Unica is all about close combat with combos and air juggles, while Hugo fires magical projectiles and sets up traps. As you progress through the tower's many floors, you'll face challenging bosses that test your reflexes and pattern recognition. The RPG elements come through leveling up, finding equipment upgrades, and unlocking new skills. Dynasty Warriors VIII Xtreme Legends brings the ultimate 1 against thousands power fantasy to Switch, letting you single-handedly change the course of massive battles in ancient China. Based on the classic Chinese novel Romance of the Three Kingdoms, the game follows the wars between the Wei, Wu, and Shu kingdoms, letting you play through historical events from different perspectives. The gameplay is pure adrenaline. You pick one of 82 playable characters, each with unique weapons and movesets, then charge into battlefields with hundreds of enemies on screen at once. Combat revolves around light attack combos, heavy attacks that launch enemies, and special Musou attacks that clear entire crowds when your gauge is full. The RPG elements come through leveling up characters, collecting and upgrading weapons with different effects, and equipping items that enhance your abilities. Astral Chain is one of the most unique action RPGs ever made, created by Platinum Games, the masters of action combat. Set in a cyberpunk future where humanity lives on a megacity called the Ark to escape world contamination, you play as a member of a special police force dealing with interdimensional threats. What makes this game incredible is its one-of-a-kind combat system. You simultaneously control your character and a tethered creature called a legion. Imagine fighting with 2 characters at once, where your legion circles enemies on a chain that can bind and damage them. Your character handles direct attacks while your legion provides support and special abilities. Between high-octane battles, you'll investigate crime scenes, gather evidence, and solve cases like a proper detective. The RPG elements come through upgrading your legions using materials dropped by enemies, customizing their abilities and appearance.
This is PD-025. I need backup ASAP. I found someone who needs evac. We've got an officer down. Someone come give me a hand over here.
Tales of Vesperia Definitive Edition brings one of the best entries in the long-running Tales series to Switch with tons of extra content. The story follows Yuri Lowell, a former knight who takes justice into his own hands when the laws fail to protect ordinary people. What sets this game apart is its mature story that questions whether it's right to work outside the law for the greater good. The combat happens in real-time battle arenas where you directly control one character while AI handles your party members, though friends can join in co-op. The action feels like a fighting game, with normal attacks that chain into special moves called artes, defensive options like blocking and free run, and powerful mystic artes that unleash devastating cinematic attacks. As you play, you'll learn new skills by using weapons, unlock titles that change character abilities, and customize your party's AI behavior for different situations. CrossCode is a masterpiece that looks like a 16-bit SNES game, but plays like nothing else. The brilliant twist, it's set inside a fictional MMO called Crossworlds, where your character Leah is actually an avatar being played by someone in the real world. Due to a mysterious condition, Leah can't speak much, just hi and a few other words, creating unique storytelling challenges as she tries to recover her memory and uncover why she's stuck in the game. The gameplay is a perfect mix of fast-paced combat, challenging puzzles, and exploration. Combat happens in real time where you shoot energy balls, use close-range attacks, dash to dodge, and utilize special elemental powers that can be changed on the fly. The game is filled with cleverly designed puzzles that use physics and your various abilities in increasingly creative ways. The RPG systems run deep. You have extensive skill trees for different playstyles, equipment with special properties, and crafting options. Diablo 3: Eternal Collection delivers the ultimate loot-driven action RPG experience on the Switch. The dark fantasy story follows your custom hero as they battle demonic forces threatening the world of Sanctuary. But the real draw is the endlessly satisfying gameplay loop. You choose from 7 distinct classes: Barbarian, Demon Hunter, Monk, Witch Doctor, Wizard, Crusader, and Necromancer, each with completely different playstyles and abilities. Combat happens in real time from an overhead view as you unleash devastating attacks against hordes of monsters, with the simple controls hiding incredible depth as you unlock and customize dozens of different skills. What makes Diablo 3 so addictive is the constant progression through better loot. You're always just one enemy away from finding a legendary item that completely changes how you play.
I've never seen anyone fight like that before.
Star Ocean. The second story, R brings a classic PlayStation RPG back to life with beautiful new 2D 3D graphics while keeping the fun action combat. The story follows Claude and Rena, and you choose which one to play as, changing how you see the story unfold. What makes this game special is the real-time battle system where you control one character directly, moving around, attacking with combos, and using special skills called arts while your AI teammates help out. You can swap between party members anytime during fights. Outside of battle, there's a deep crafting system where you can make weapons, cook food, mix items, and even compose music. The game has over 100 different endings based on choices you make and which characters become friends, or even fall in love. Another cool feature is the private action system, where you can split from your party in towns to see special scenes that build relationships between characters.
Nice. This was a hard.
Ni no Kuni, Wrath of the White Witch feels like playing through a Studio Ghibli movie with its gorgeous hand-drawn animation and heartwarming story. You play as Oliver, a young boy who travels to a magical world to try to save his mother. The battle system mixes real-time movement with menu commands. You run around freely to position yourself, then choose attacks, spells, items, or command your familiars, cute monsters you catch and train. These familiars are a huge part of the game. You can catch over 300 different creatures, level them up, evolve them, and equip them with gear. Each has unique abilities and strengths, letting you build your perfect team. Between battles, you'll explore colorful towns and dangerous dungeons, solve people's problems using a magical book called the Wizard's Companion, and even fix broken hearts by borrowing emotions from people who have extra to give to those missing them.
Here goes!
Trials of Mana is a beautiful remake of a classic action RPG that was never officially released in the West until now. The story lets you pick 3 out of 6 possible heroes at the start, each with their own opening story and reason for trying to find the mana sword and restore the mana tree before evil forces can use its power. The combat happens in real time, where you directly control one character, switching between your 3 party members whenever you want, using light attacks, heavy attacks, dodge rolls, jump attacks, and special abilities that run on a cooldown system. What makes this game special is the class change system. Around level 18 and again at level 38, each character can upgrade to different classes that completely change their abilities and appearance. For example, Angela the Mage can become an explosive damage dealer or a support magic user, while Duran the Swordsman can become a defensive tank or a magic knight. Skyrim brings its massive open-world fantasy adventure to the Switch with all DLC included and even some exclusive Nintendo items. The story begins with your character, a prisoner about to be executed, who escapes when a dragon attacks. Soon you learn you're a dragonborn with the power to use dragon shouts, special magical abilities that let you breathe fire, slow time, or call storms. What makes Skyrim special is its incredible freedom. You can be anyone and play however you want. Want to be a sneaky archer, a destructive mage, a heavy armor warrior, or mix all 3? You can. The combat happens in real time, with your left hand and right hand able to hold different weapons, spells, or shields that you control with different buttons. As you use skills like one-handed weapons or destruction magic, those specific skills level up, making you stronger at what you actually do rather than forcing you into classes.
You'll do better than that. That'll teach you to cross me.
You fellows happened along just
Dark
in time.
Souls Remastered brings the famously challenging action RPG to the Switch, letting you experience its grim, dark fantasy world anywhere you go. The story is mysterious and told mostly through item descriptions and brief NPC conversations. You're an undead warrior trying to either rekindle or extinguish the first flame in a dying world. The combat is what makes Dark Souls special. It's deliberate and weighty, where every swing, block, and dodge roll matters. You have a stamina bar that depletes when attacking, blocking, or dodging, adding a strategic layer to every encounter. Timing is everything. Dodge too early or late and you'll take full damage. The RPG elements come through the many weapons with unique movesets, armor sets with different protection values, and stats you can level up to create builds ranging from heavy strength warriors to dexterous thieves to powerful mages. The Legend of Heroes Trails Through Daybreak, previously known as Trails into Reverie, brings fast-paced action RPG combat to the story-rich Trails series. The unique thing about this game is that it follows 3 separate storylines, returning heroes Lloyd and Rian, plus a mysterious masked figure called C, that you can switch between using the Crossroads system whenever you want. The combat happens on field maps, where you can see enemies before fighting them. Once battle starts, you move characters in real time, using normal attacks, special moves called crafts, and magical arts. What makes battles exciting is the team-up moves, positioning for area attacks, and the tension gauge that builds up, allowing for super powerful S-crafts that can turn the tide of battle. Between fights, you'll explore detailed towns where NPCs have their own stories that change after major events, making the world feel alive.
A chance. I'll spice you up. Keep it up.
There!
Bring it on! Keep it up!
Persona 5 Strikers takes the beloved Phantom Thieves from Persona 5 and drops them into an action-packed summer road trip across Japan. Set after the events of Persona 5, the story follows Joker and friends as they investigate mysterious events happening in different cities, where people's desires are being stolen by someone creating magical jails similar to the palaces from the original game. The combat completely transforms the turn-based original into fast-paced action, where you control one character at a time, slashing through hundreds of enemies with light and heavy attacks while still using your personas for special magical abilities. You can instantly switch between party members mid-battle, each with unique playstyles. Ryuji is a heavy hitter and uses fire and whip attacks, Makoto has martial arts moves, and so on.
Great show, children! Really did him in with that one.
Oh, my head is...
Go, keep it together.
VIII, Lacrimosa of Dana follows red-haired adventurer Adal Kristen, who becomes shipwrecked on a mysterious island with other passengers. The story has a unique twist. Adal keeps having dreams about Dana, a blue-haired woman from an ancient civilization that once lived on the island. The gameplay is pure action goodness. You directly control one character, switching between 3 party members at any time with a button press, using fast attacks, special skills, dodges, and blocks. The combat system rewards perfect timing. Dodge right before an attack hits for a slow-mo effect, or block at the perfect moment to parry and counter. Each playable character has a different attack type, slash, strike, or pierce, that's strong against specific enemy types, encouraging you to swap characters strategically. As you explore the island, you'll rescue other shipwreck survivors who join your base camp, offering new services like blacksmithing, trading, and farming.
Oh, something's there.
Nioh, The World Ends With You takes place in a stylish version of Tokyo's Shibuya district, where players are forced to compete in the Reaper's game, a life or death competition that lasts 1 week. You play as Rindo, a teen who finds himself and his friend Fret trapped in this game, forming a team called the Wicked Twisters to try to survive. The combat system is super unique. Each character equips different pins like badges that give them specific psychic attacks assigned to different buttons. One pin might let you slash with fire by pressing A, while another shoots ice by pressing Y. You can have up to 6 pins equipped across your team, letting you create your own combo system. Battles happen seamlessly in the same areas you explore, with no transition to a separate battle screen. Monster Hunter Rise perfects the series' thrilling boss battle-focused action RPG formula with new mobility options and quality of life improvements. The story is simple but effective. You're a hunter in Kimura Village, which faces a looming threat called the Rampage, where hordes of monsters attack at once. The gameplay loop is incredibly satisfying. Hunt massive monsters, carve materials from them, craft better weapons and armor, then hunt even bigger monsters. What makes Rise special is the new YoRHa system that lets you zip through the air, run up walls without losing stamina, and perform powerful silkbind attacks that can turn the tide of battle. Combat is deep and rewarding. You choose from 14 entirely different weapon types, like the explosive switch axe or the musical hunting horn, each with completely different moves and playstyles that feel like their own unique combat systems.
Look out! It's out for you!
Dragon's Dogma. Dark Arisen starts with a dragon stealing your heart, literally, and somehow you survive. Now you must track down this dragon to reclaim your heart and find out why you were chosen. What makes this game special is the incredible combat system where you can grab onto giant monsters and climb them to attack weak spots. Want to stab a griffin in the wings while it's flying? You can do that. The game has tons of different classes like fighter, strider, or mage, and you can switch between them whenever you want, mixing and matching skills as you level up. The coolest feature is the pawn system. You create a companion who fights alongside you, and you can borrow 2 more companions made by other players online. These pawns remember what they've seen in other players' worlds, so they'll point out secrets and enemy weaknesses they've learned before. Xenoblade Chronicles 3 takes place in a world where 2 nations, Kevas and Agnes, are locked in an endless war where soldiers only live for 10 years before their life force returns to their leaders. You follow Noah and Mio from opposing sides who, along with their friends, get fused together and discover shocking truths about their world. The combat happens in real time, but with a twist. Your character attacks automatically when in range of enemies, while you focus on positioning and activating special arts when they cool down. What makes this game unique is the class system where characters can learn any role, attacker, defender, or healer, from each other, giving you tons of freedom to build your perfect team. The most exciting feature is Ouroboros transformations, where 2 characters combine into a super powerful form with devastating abilities. The Legend of Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom takes everything great about Breath of the Wild and adds mind-blowing new abilities that completely change how you play. Link must save Hyrule once again after Princess Zelda disappears into ancient ruins, and a catastrophe scatters floating islands in the sky while creating a dark underworld below. The core gameplay is still about exploring anywhere you want and solving problems your way, but now with game-changing new powers. Ultra Hand lets you stick objects together to build anything you can imagine. Cars, boats, planes, weapons, or crazy contraptions. Fuse allows you to combine weapons with objects for unique effects, like a hammer with a rock for more damage, or a shield with a flame emitter to burn enemies who hit you. Ascend helps you climb by phasing through ceilings, and Recall makes objects move backward in time. Xenoblade Chronicles X Definitive Edition brings Monolith Soft's massive sci-fi epic to the Nintendo Switch with a suite of visual and gameplay upgrades. Set on the alien planet Mira after Earth's destruction, players take on the role of a blade operative exploring gigantic continents filled with wild ecosystems, ancient ruins, and colossal monsters. The game's open-world design is as awe-inspiring as ever, now enhanced with sharper textures, improved lighting, and streamlined menus. Quality of life changes, like quicker load times, better quest tracking, and a simplified progression system, make this the most accessible version of the game to date. Players can also pilot skells, transforming mechs that add verticality and firepower to exploration and combat. With revamped mechanics and new story content, this version is not just a visual upgrade, it's the definitive way to experience one of the most ambitious and sprawling JRPGs ever made.
Anytime you need a little extra help, give me a call. I happen to be a pretty competent pilot.
NieR Automata, the end of YoRHa edition, takes our top spot by delivering one of the most unique gaming experiences ever, now perfectly playable on Switch. Set in a far future where aliens have invaded Earth using machine life forms, humans have fled to the moon and send android soldiers to fight the war. You play as combat androids 2B, 9S, and eventually A2, uncovering mysteries about the machines, humanity, and what it means to be alive. The combat is where this game shines. Created by Action Game Masters Platinum Games, you'll seamlessly switch between sword fighting, shooting, and dodging in beautifully fluid battles that feel amazing to control. Your character is helped by a pod companion that provides ranged attacks and special abilities you can customize. The brilliance of NieR Automata is how it constantly changes gameplay styles. One moment you're in a third-person action game, then suddenly it becomes a twin-stick shooter, a 2D platformer, or even a text adventure. The RPG elements come through leveling up, equipping plug-in chips that customize everything from health stats to UI elements, and upgrading your weapons with unique stories attached to each one. And there you have it, the 25 best action RPGs you can play on Nintendo Switch. Each one offers amazing combat, deep RPG systems, and stories that will keep you hooked for dozens or even hundreds of hours. Which of these games have you played? Let me know your favorites in the comments. And if you think I missed any great action RPGs, share those too. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more Nintendo Switch content from SwitchTop. Until next time.